Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest topics out there, love. We all hear about it constantly, right? It's in every song, every movie, but what if that version of love, the one we all think we know, is really just scratching the surface of something much, much bigger? You've heard lines just like this 1,000 times. It doesn't matter what language it's in. This idea that love is some kind of magic, something that's destined, that just happens to us. It's a really beautiful idea, and honestly, it's the main script that pop culture gives us to follow. So is that it? Is love just this feeling we fall into, like stepping off a curb? Well, the sources we're digging into today really push back on that idea. They suggest there's a way more powerful and frankly more reliable way to understand it. Yeah, so our very first lessons about love usually come from our culture. Think about it, movies, stories, and especially music. They all build this epic narrative around romance, finding your soulmate, the one. But here's where it gets really interesting. According to our source, something like 80% of so-called love songs aren't actually about being in love. Nope, they're about heartbreak, about longing. And without us even realizing it, this teaches us that love is this super volatile feeling that more often than not ends in pain. Okay, but what if we just flipped that script completely? The sources for this explainer talk about this massive shift in thinking, moving away from love as this passive feeling and toward love as an active commitment. And this right here, this is the whole game. The pop culture version sees love as an emotion, which can make you feel like you possess someone. But this other perspective, it reframes love as a conscious action, a choice you make to sacrifice for another person. It's a complete flip from, what am I getting out of this, to what can I give? You can see the problem with the love as a feeling model, right? It's not stable. When you build your whole identity on another person, when you start thinking, I literally can't live without them, your entire foundation is incredibly fragile, just waiting to crumble. So where does this totally different definition come from? Well, our source points us to a really famous text, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And this passage basically redefines love, not as something you feel, but as a whole series of things you do. Just look at the words here. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. Every single one of these is a verb. It's a choice you make in how you behave, and it has absolutely nothing to do with how you might be feeling in that exact moment. And this quote from the source material just nails it. Love is an action, not a feeling. And wow, that changes everything. Because if love is an action, it's suddenly something you have control over. It's something you can practice and get better at. It's not just something that randomly happens to you anymore. To really drive this home, our source uses this powerful metaphor. So, imagine a community is like a human body, right? With all its different parts and talents. Well, this active, choice-based love, that's the heart. And without the heart, the body is just a pile of disconnected parts. It has no life, no purpose. Okay, let's go even deeper now, because this gets fascinating. The source material points out that in the original Greek language of the text, there isn't just one word for love. There are several. We're going to look at two of the most important ones, agape and phileo. First up is agape. Now, this is the big one. It's this deep, selfless love that is totally focused on the other person. It's completely unconditional, it's sacrificial, and it expects absolutely nothing back. It's love as a pure, determined choice. And then you've got phileo. This is the love of a deep friendship. It's incredibly powerful, but it's more of a two-way street. It's built on a shared bond, on connection, on affection. You know that incredible warmth and loyalty you feel for your best friends? That's phileo. So these definitions are great, but what does the difference actually look like in real life? To make this crystal clear, the source highlights this really profound and moving story from the Bible. This conversation is just wow. Jesus asks Peter for agape love, that perfect, sacrificial, selfless love. But Peter, who had just failed so spectacularly, can't bring himself to say it. He can honestly offer phileo, the love of a close, loyal friend. So on the third try, in this incredible act of empathy, Jesus meets him right where he is. He asks for and validates the love that Peter is actually able to give in that moment. And this redefinition of love isn't just some isolated idea. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you see this theme of active, sacrificial love woven through the entire story of the Bible. You see this pattern again and again. Right from the beginning, love is always shown as a verb. It's an action. It's providing clothes for people who messed up. It's building an escape route during a disaster. It's making a way for forgiveness to happen during a famine. And of course, it's shown in the ultimate sacrifice for everyone. So, what this does is it shifts our view from a love that's like a fragile, fleeting soap bubble to a love that's like a lighthouse. It's a reliable, steady beacon in a storm. This is a love you can actually count on because it's not built on chemistry, it's built on commitment. And that brings it all right back to us, right now. If love is fundamentally something we do and not just something we feel, then it's no longer about waiting around for some magical feeling to hit you. It becomes about making a choice to take an action. So the final question really is, what will you do?